Oh, hey, look at that. It says I'm live. I guess that means I'm live. So today we're... Is it moving? Is it moving? Yes! Because we can, we're going to do today's show on a constant loop of the slider one. Now let's see. Did it go to the other side? Did it? I think because I'm wide. I'm definitely wider. Oh, I should turn it a little bit. Let's try turning it. So while I'm screwing around here, you guys need to be trying to load the 4K stream because 4K. There we go. Let's see if that holds the tight shot. Because we are streaming live in 4K today, if you can believe that, which is kind of insane, but it appears to be working. We've been streaming blind, which means just kind of not broadcast, just to the YouTube itself, for the last 10 minutes or so in 4K. Have had no hiccups. It's been fine, which is really kind of cool. So I'm kind of excited about this. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what it looks on your end. And I also want to know what you're saying, which means I have to load up my chat window over here. So we are, once again, using the Epiphan Pearl-2. We are just doing a one-camera stream today, although I did just plug in the computer, so we're going to try switching to this and see if that works. And we're doing this in 4K. So I've got the GH4 connected to it right now, my Lumix GH4. That is not plugged directly in here. We're going to talk about that in just a moment once I actually get this thing started. Oh, look at that. So for some reason that one decided not to load the Wi-Fi today. All right, let's just pull it up here because I got to see your comments. I got to see what you guys are saying. Got to see who's here today. Got to see what's happening. There we go. Live control room. There are people here. Ooh, I'm getting a stream status that's only okay. You know what? Let me make sure that all backups are stopped. I forgot to check this machine. Now, if this machine stopped, the one out there is stopped. Well, we've dropped down to an okay quality. And hello, everybody. Now we got the chat up. Hello, Jess. Hello, Ophir. And hello, Fine Wooden. And hello, Ed. And Ed, welcome. First time here. Right on. Hello, Achita. Hello, Fine Wooden Creations. This 4K really works. Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. I look awesome. Why, thank you. Appreciate that. And everybody says it's looking good. So that's good to hear. It is telling me, let's see, is it still saying, it's still saying stream status is only okay. Bitrate of 6K. Lower than the recommended bitrate of 23K. Well, derdoy. So I wonder if that is what the machine is outputting, or if this is a case of a bandwidth issue. I don't think it's a bandwidth issue. All right, we're going to play with it. Good morning. Welcome to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment, the first live daily show on YouTube, on photography, video, photo, all photo things. All things photo. How's that sound? So today's dealio, in case you're just tuning in, we are broadcasting for the first time live in 4K. Why would you do such a crazy thing? Because it's fun. Oh, look, my slider stopped spinning. Loop. Slide error. Unable to complete the slide with required settings. Really? Let's just try that again. Switch over to B. Oop, no, it's already in B. Let's switch to position A. See, slider works. Look at that. See? Because I can. That's really what it comes down to. There's no good reason for this whatsoever, except that I was using the slider this morning, and I thought, hey, it's already set up. Let's just put it on here as well. Let's see if it's now on a loop. See if it gives me another error. Anyway, so we're broadcasting live 4K, again, because we can. Pearl-2 by Epiphan, one of its many features. If you missed yesterday's video, check that out. Yesterday's video, we brought in a bunch of different sources, all HD, not 4K, but we had, what did I have? I had a GH4, I had the GX8, I had a webcam, and then the computer source as well. And I did a little 3-up thing. It's pretty slick. I mean, the whole thing's really cool. One of the really neat advantages of the Pearl, from what I've seen over other solutions that I've played with, is you don't have to have you don't have to have identical frame rate and bitrate, or frame rate and frame size coming in. So we can mix and match things all over the place. And so today we're keeping it simple today because we wanted to do this in 4K. We're streaming live in 4K with one camera outputting 4K. Now, like I said, I have plugged in the computer, and we're going to take a look at the settings in here in just a moment and see if it tells me why I'm only outputting a 6K, 6,000 kilobit signal. It should be much higher than that. I'm looking at the comments here. People are getting 4K, people are getting 2160p. That's how it'll show up, 2160p. That's awesome. Just as thanks for showing all this. I'll never need it, but have a great appreciation for what people who broadcast go through. It's kind of crazy. It really is kind of crazy. Trevor says, it's pretty crisp, but I'm seeing dancing noise. Is that the video compression or the camera? That's probably the compression, because the camera, this is the Lumix, where we get a really nice, clean 4K signal. Better than off my BMD camera, I'm sorry to say, but it's true. But YouTube is telling me that I'm only outputting 6K. So let's see here. I need to set up another input. Let me add a new layout to this, add this computer to it, and then you will see what I see. And we'll take a look at that. Where did I plug this thing in? I plugged it into B, HDMI 4K B. There it is. There's my computer screen. Bring that up, and this is coming in at 1080p. So now we're going to switch. This will actually be really interesting. Oh, let me add my audio so I don't make that mistake again. Save that. This will be really interesting because we have just switched to signal that is presumably being upscaled to HD. So let me take a look at my encoding settings. Let's see here. Well, this is just 1080p settings, so that's not what I need. Let me make this a little bigger here. There we go. And use current signal resolution as frame size. So that's what I want. What's this current? Oh, it couldn't. No, it wouldn't just change that on the fly. Let me go back to my other source. I'm going to do that on the interface on the front here. Okay, the camera at 4K. Let me go back to my encoding settings. I don't know, you can't see it right now. Interesting. I wonder if it's changing. Okay, I'm going to disable that. Oh yeah, look, my bitrate is set to 6K right here. That would certainly explain. Okay, I've turned off. Let me see. Let me apply this, and then I'm going to switch back. Hopefully this doesn't break the stream. I don't know, you're not supposed to do this live, I don't think. But, okay, here we go. Let's go back to the stream. Back to the screen, rather. There we go. So I've just disabled this, where it says use current signal resolution as frame rate. And because I had switched to this screen, which was 1920 by 1080, that became 1920 by 1080. I switched back to the other camera, it became 4K, that's 3840 by 2160. I disabled the use current, so now it's locked in at this. We also see down here my bitrate is set to 6000, which I need to change. So I'm going to change that to 12,000. Click apply, and let's go back to my streaming settings. Actually, I don't think I'm going to see anything in here. Ooh, it just restarted the stream, didn't it? Interesting. It restarted the stream. Let me take a look at your comments here and see if I'm actually still live. I'm not getting yelled at from the other room, so that's a good sign. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at the comments here. And no Sully, you're shocked. I know, right? When Sully's not here, something's wrong. My beard is crispy sharp. Excellent. You're running 200 up and 200 down fiber, not getting any lag or buffering at 2160. You got 200 up? Jeremy Erickson, where do you live? I want 200 up. Man, I got 300 down, but only 30 up. I would gladly give up that 100 down to get up to 200 up. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, Florian's getting it at 2160. It looks the same as 1080. Don't you need a 4K monitor to see it? Well, okay, yes. So that is true. If you are looking at this on an iPhone and trying to stream it at 4K, you're probably not going to see a difference. If you are on a larger, a high DPI screen, a 4K or 5K screen, and you go to 4K, but you're still looking at it a little screen, you're not going to see a difference. Hit full screen on that bad boy. Get that thing up nice and big, and then you will see the full size. So everyone says still live, still live. This is great. And did it... When I switch sources and switch resolutions, did it drop and then come back, or did it just clean switch? And I'm really interested now to know what, now it says the health is good. So now it seems to have switched seamlessly up to that higher bit rate. That's really cool. And the reason this is cool is not just because, oh, I can do a little live demo when it works. If you're in a situation, God, this is actually really impressive. Okay, if you're in a situation where, let's say, you've tested everything, you know that you're streaming it at 1200 kilobits or 12,000 kilobits. Let's get the right factor of zero in there. If you're streaming, let's say you're 12, you've tested everything's good at 12, you go live, you're doing 12, suddenly you're getting errors. Oh, you don't have 12. You check your bandwidth, something happened, you drop down to below that. You can go in now apparently and change the output bit rate of the device in real time, and it doesn't interrupt the stream. It did restart my countdown, wherever that was, but it sounds like it didn't actually interrupt it. That's pretty impressive. People saying, yes, it jumped, clean switch for me, slight gap. Okay, so maybe it dropped and came back, but That's interesting. Trevor's saying there's a massive difference between 1080p and 4K. 4K is way better. Excellent. I mean, it's 4 times the data, one would hope. Moire is pretty bad, though. I didn't expect this from the GH4 4K. It dropped and came back. Oh, dropped and... Okay, so it did drop and come back. But it came back, and that's slick. Moire is bad. Moire on my shirt or just Moire all over the place? This is the GH4, which has the anti-aliasing filter, so we shouldn't be getting Moire on there. And I'm not seeing Moire in my preview monitor here, which is for... No, this is a 1080p preview monitor, so that could be part of it. Interesting. Very interesting. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull... No, I better not pull up the signal as well. Actually, I am going to pull it up. What the hell? Let's just see what my own signal looks like on my end. Now I'm going to start hogging more bandwidth, but we have bandwidth to spare, I do believe. So go to my control room, go to my watch page. Let's mute this so I don't hear myself. And because I want to see what this looks like live as well. And there he is. Whoa, that does look good. Man. Look at that. 2160p. Booyah. That is slick. Man, that looks really cool. Oh, my slider's not sliding. That looks incredible. Slider error. Why does it keep giving me a slider error? I know we're not doing a slider demo now, but that's just annoying. Okay, let's just go really fast. Hit loop. There it goes. Now it's moving. Okay, it's probably a little bit fast. Let's slow it down a little bit. There we go. We're going to let that go. Okay, that's insane. Now I really want to keep this thing. Okay, Epiphan, you're not getting this back. I've changed address and I've left the country. Sorry, what can I tell you? This is pretty awesome. Okay, so let's get that out of there. Impressive. Everything's working. So, and we can switch seamlessly to the 1080p source. I'm cool. I'm dead impressed by this thing. This is working out really well. Okay, so enough babbling about this. Check the comments, and then I want to tell you a couple other things. Martin's not seeing Moire. Ed is seeing it on my shirt. Trevor's saying he thinks the Moire is the noise in the stream compression. Well, Moire shouldn't come from compression. Oh, Ed's saying it must have been... Okay, so Ed's seeing it now. Because you weren't watching it full screen. So that makes sense. So if you were watching the 4K but scaled down, then yes, you could potentially see some Moire happening. That does make sense. That's perfectly logical, actually. So 4K shows off my wrinkles more. Martin, drop Martin from the show. What is that? Man, that's like blasphemy. You're mean. Now I'm going to be self-conscious about it. And I got another slider error. Oh, well, so much for the slider. Okay, a couple other things I want to talk about. Let's see. Update GH5, info update. Someone had asked, and this isn't just GH5, this is universal, asked about following up on the depth from defocusing video that I did. So if you haven't seen that, click here. We talked about the depth from defocusing, or DFD, autofocus technology in all the Lumix cameras, but then especially the GH5, which has vectoring and all kinds of other stuff in it. One of the questions that came up, I think that the part where I said drop Ed, or drop Martin, just came up. Jeremy, it was Jeremy. Sorry, who is it? Who is making fun of me? Martin just came up out there. I hear my assistant laughing now. He said our wrinkles. Did he? Okay, well in that case he can stay. I gotta look at that. Just shows off our. Oh, okay, I'm looking at tiny little font here. I saw yours. All right, you're forgiven. Okay, where was I? DFD. So someone asked, do you get DFD, depth from defocus, autofocusing, on non-Lumix lenses? I had to find out. I didn't know. The answer is no. So if you're using a non-Lumix lens, the camera defaults to a contrast-based autofocus. So yet another reason that the Lumix lenses will be the fastest for autofocus on the GH5 or any of the cameras, any of the Lumix cameras, but really, really on the GH5. So there's the answer to that question for you who asked it, who I don't remember who it was now. There's that. Okay, second thing I want to tell you. There's this really cool new, I don't know, we're bouncing all over the place here today, but really cool new feature if you're shooting with a late model iPhone or Android. If you're using Lightroom Mobile, Lightroom just added this HDR RAW capture capability, and it's kind of cool. And so basically, you just like, you know, before you switch into HDR mode, you take a picture. It's going to fire off 3 shots in very, very rapid succession. It does the whole HDR merging, and it presents you with an HDR RAW file. And in limited testing that I did, it looked amazing. I did a shot yesterday morning just on my back patio. The sun was coming up through the mist, and we kind of overlook this canyon creaky thing, and so it's really dark down there, really bright up here. Shot 2 pictures, and it was amazing the difference between them. So I thought, okay, this morning I'm going to go out and do a whole thing about it. And I went up to the Went up the highway up to this rural road where you can get this really great view and sunrise and whole thing. And I got like GH4 there shooting kind of behind the scenes, and we're all here today watching the sunrise, that kind of a thing. And the sun never came up. It's one of those days. So we didn't get the shot, didn't get the shot. So I then went out front here once the sun finally did come up and shot something that was hideous because I work in a warehouse district, so that ain't pretty. So I threw that away. So I'm going to try and get a really pretty shot to finish that up, and I'll turn that into a photo moment, but it's also going to go up on PhotoJoseph's because it's really impressive what you can do with the stupid little iPhone, smartphone, and a little bit of HDR and RAW. It's kind of, obviously it's not what you get off of this, but it's pretty cool. But playing with that vintage lens again, by the way. Oh, I got another one. It doesn't fit either, so I got to get a different adapter. This one that I ordered, it came from the Ukraine yesterday. It arrived. Look at this thing, it's so tiny. But I got to get the right, adapter. I haven't done that yet. I know for those of you who watched the video on these lenses, link here. Thank you. There's a lot of really good information in there, what I didn't know about working with these lenses. I need to buy another adapter, get the right adapter. I just don't have it yet. So I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Okay. Anything else happening here? And then we're going to jump off of this. Great job on the 4K. Someone said GH5 continuous focus doesn't work until you press the record button. Is that true? Definitely not true. It's funny now that you say that, I'm thinking about it. Did I ever actually try it without hitting the record button? No, it can't be true because then it wouldn't work for the HDMI out for recording to an external recorder, so that can't possibly be true. But hey, ask me again next week. I'll have the camera again. And Trevor saying you hadn't planned that out, but you think you're going to scrape together some cash, pick up the Leica 12-60 f2.8 to f4. It's a nice lens. I haven't made a commitment whether I would or wouldn't use that on a regular basis. So interesting thing, when I get the GH5 next week, I'm not going to have the 12-60, so I'm going to have to use my other lenses. So the 12-35 2.8 was always my go-to for kind of any kind of video vlogging type of thing. So I will be using that one. Well, and longer lenses and other lenses, but I won't be using the new Leica. So we'll see how I feel. We'll see if I feel like I miss it, because it was a really nice lens. It has a really nice reach to it. I'm not thrilled with the variable aperture, but obviously if it was a constant 2.8, then the lens would be twice the size. So you win some, you lose some, but it was a beautiful lens, really sharp. So I definitely liked it. I'm just not sure whether I liked it enough to use it instead of the 12-35 and the 35-100 combo. Tough call, tough call. Okay. And you're talking about getting it for the DFD. Excellent. All right, guys, we're out of here. Yeah, this is good. Have a good weekend. You know the routine, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you haven't already. What else can I tell you? I don't know. We'll figure something out next week. Next week, we will do the 4K punch-in, multiple camera angle thing, broadcasting in HD. And I'm stoked that this worked out so well. Let's just see, I want to check my status again. Still good status. That is killer. In 4K. Bitchin'. And we're going to leave this recording up. The one that everybody watches is going to be the live one. We're not going to replace it like I normally would, just as I did with yesterday's Epiphan video. Did not replace it because I wanted the actual live stream to stay up there so people could see at any point what it actually looked like, not cheating and recording locally and uploading it later. Okay, that's it. I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.